John, Bruvs, a great 2-0 home win for us today. Starting with the first half, I think we just carried on with the intensity that we had last week at Rochdale.
Oh, without a doubt, and that's something that we've been working on really hard this week. We've been drilling the boys into what got us success from last week and looking to take that into the game today. And I felt that we started the game really well. We had some good spells on the ball, and it really settled us into the game. And then it allowed us to kind of play the way we wanted to and the way we'd set out to. And for us, coaches and management team, it was really pleasing to see lots of those routines and the different patterns that we worked on during the week come out in the game, and not just come out but be successful as well. And it looked to create some chances, which was great to see. And had we taken maybe one or two more in the first half that we'd worked really hard to get, then it may have been out of sight a little bit earlier. But all credit to Altrincham. Obviously they play some really nice football. They made it really tough for us, and especially going into the second half made it really difficult for us. So it was great to see, like I said, some of the stuff we've worked on to come out in our game situations and be successful in creating chances for us.
Yeah, you say about Altrincham, and they do like to get the ball down and play football, and you could clearly see the way our intensity on the front foot frustrated them in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, speaking to a few people afterwards, they said felt like the game was almost won first half, which performance-wise it probably was. Obviously, touching on Whitey's comment there about maybe if we get 2 or 3 goals, yeah, maybe it might have been. We worked very, very hard first half. We've upped the standards in training, we've upped the work rate, and that certainly did show in the first half. Obviously had loads to do second half. They've come out, had a 15-minute spell, we were under pressure, we've rode that, shown maturity in the young squad, and obviously come out on top.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. And second half, they were always going to come back at us, weren't they? And we maybe rue a couple of opportunities first half had gone our way. Innie's so unlucky not to score first half, but team performance, we got back together and we went again.
Yeah, like we said, we put our stamp on the game early, and it will have made it difficult for them in the way that the intensity we worked at, and like I said, the patterns that we'd worked so hard on created those opportunities that on another day I think maybe another one goes in, and it does. Obviously, it's the cliche in football, goals change games, but could not ask for any more out of the boys. I mean, first half they set their stall out, and we're on the front foot a lot of the first half. Like Bruce just said, at times they're going to have spells. They're a good footballing team. They can make you run around and work really hard, and every one of the players stuck to the game plan. And yes, there's still things we can work on. There's plenty we can work on, and we know what we want to do moving forward from that second half performance, to be able to not just have a strong 45, then be able to back that up with a strong first 15 of the second half, and then be able to push that into towards the end of the game. It was nice to have that lead and be able to have something to protect. But my message to our defensive players at half time was, we're in front, we get that clean sheet, and again another cliche, if you get that clean sheet second half, you win the game. And it was credit to the boys to be able to push on all the way to the end, and to be able to get the extra goal to really seal the deal.
Yeah, just sticking with you for a bit more, John, going into the defence, winning but keeping that clean sheet, because we've not been conceding lots of goals, have we? So that's massive for you. Getting the defence, getting that clean sheet for the back line is just, it's like scoring a hat-trick, isn't it?
It's huge. It's huge. If you've got great foundations that are going to be solid week in and week out, it gives you such a strong platform for those players in front of you to be able to let the lead off a little bit, go a bit more creative with it, and not be as rigid with it, and look to go and make things happen. So yeah, it's massive for me personally, but it's massive for the boys. They've earned that themselves by like Roger said, the work we put in on the training ground, the relationships that are building between them, and how hard they're working for not just themselves but for each other and for the club. So it's obviously really pleasing to see, and we want more of them. But again, very, very pleasing that we've got that clean sheet.
Coming over to you, Michael, you see, like John mentioned there about the relationships in the squad. Everyone around the ground that I speak to are saying how they can see the team gelling together, and that's really shown over the last couple of weeks, and definitely in today's performance.
Yeah, obviously Whitey and Andy have had to speak a bit more on it, but every season they've had to, or we have had to this season, recoup a new squad. It's always going to take time. As a management team, we're learning, and each day we're in, we're learning. Each week we're learning, each game we're learning, and the team is starting to build a healthy relationship. The intensity in training is definitely up, and they're starting to learn that, you know what, we'll like each other on the pitch. You haven't got to get on with everyone. You just got to have high standards that we'll all stand by, and that was shown by probably the second goal won by the two subs.
Yeah.
You know, one winning the penalty, and then Big John just stepping up and coolly slotting it home.
Yeah, and you say about winning the penalty, Rio was a late signing yesterday that hasn't even gone out on Twitter about the announcement for it, but he's come on and he's affected the game, hasn't he, in the end result?
Angelo's always said, the gaffer's always said, impact the game. Subs, you've got to make a difference. You can't just come on and be part of the game. You've got to go and impact it. Tough games come on in, really tough, with a high intense game. But yeah, everyone's come on and done what they've been asked to do, and a little bit more, and obviously got us over the line.
So moving away from today, another 3 points at home, 2 on the bounce. We then focus now, moves to next Saturday, which we're back here against Bishop Stortford, a local team in the FA Cup. How's the preparations? Has anything changed for that, or do we just go exactly the same?
Listen, it's the magic of the FA Cup, so obviously there's extra excitement, but we stick to what we believe in, our efforts, and we'll go again. Obviously we want as many fans here as possible, as we always do, but there's an extra little spark in the FA Cup, so if you've got uncles, aunties, nans, granddads, let's get them down here. Let's make it a fortress for Stortford, who are down the A120, and they'll go home unhappy, hopefully.
Absolutely. You mentioned the fans. Word for them today. Again, they've been brilliant home and away, haven't they? And it's, you know, cliches and whatever. They're the 12th man, but you know they sing their hearts out, don't they?
It makes it such a hard place for people to come. Teams don't like to come down here, and they find it tough. But with that extra noise that comes, it just makes it so much more difficult for those teams to come here. And I know the boys, they hear it, they feel it. It makes them up their game, even if it's by 1%. It makes the difference, and you could see that with them going all the way to the end and being able to get that second goal that made all the difference in closing the game out. Had they not had that, who knows? But it's always a good noise that comes from behind that goal. When all the fans are behind that goal, it is rocking. It is absolutely rocking, and it makes all the difference to the players. They love it, and they love being able to celebrate in front of all the fans there as well.
Oh, brilliant. Well, thanks, guys.